Hey guys! Welcome to the Turkish series Stars channel. The tea is piping hot and we're diving right in, but before we do, hit subscribe and share this video so you don't miss a single twist. Thank you, and let's get into it. Tonight, the internet is buzzing with images that allegedly show Akın and Ebru saying yes to forever, not in Istanbul, not on a studio set, but under a Spanish sky that seemed to glow just for them. These photos, shared and reshared across timelines all afternoon, ignited a wildfire of speculation. Did the beloved duo of Turkish television slip away to Spain for a sunset ceremony kept far from the flashing lights and crowded press lines? From the first glance, the setting is drenched in romance. In the images, you can make out a courtyard with stone arches that look centuries old, ivy running along warm walls, and that unmistakable Mediterranean light that turns everything to gold at day's end. The camera catches delicate touches, arrangements of white blooms, candles flickering in hurricane glasses, strings of subtle lights crisscrossing overhead. And in the center of it all, a couple whose every quiet smile has the fandom losing its mind. She looks like a dream in a modern, graceful gown that hugs just enough and flows just enough, her hair swept back with a softness that feels effortless. He stands tall in a classic suit with a crisp cut, the kind of look that never tries too hard because it doesn't need to. No glittering extravagance, no towering cake with theatrics, just intention, warmth, and a feeling that the moment mattered more than the spectacle. Of course, the question immediately became why Spain, and why now? The whispers say that both have been juggling the kind of schedules that leave little room for anything but work. Between sets, rehearsals, and a non-stop whirlwind of commitments, carving out a day that belonged only to them must have felt like an impossible wish. And yet, the rumors insist that they made that wish come true by flying somewhere quieter, somewhere steeped in romance but removed from the frenzy. A place with narrow streets and balconies draped in flowers, with cathedrals that remember stories older than all of us, with sunsets that make promises seem like they might last forever. Spain, with its historic architecture and mellow evenings, has always called to lovers who prefer whispers over shouts. By the time the third photo surfaced, the internet had already broken into teams. Those convinced it was real, those sure it was a movie set, and those who just wanted to enjoy the possibility. There are shots where you can almost hear a guitarist plucking something soft in the distance, where the light filters through olive branches as if nature had been asked to keep a secret. The tables look intimate, round and close together, no more than a handful of guests at each, and hardly any faces you can identify because everything is angled to keep the focus on the couple. That's exactly what's feeding the theory that only inner circle friends and immediate family were invited, that phones were taken at the door, that the within these walls rule was enforced with the kind of gentle seriousness only a truly private celebration can manage. And what about the reaction? Let's just say the fandoms didn't hold back. The comments ranged from breathless congratulations to analyses worthy of a detective show. People have slowed the footage down, circled the rings, compared the earring Ebru wore in an interview last week to the one in the picture, lined up the pattern of Akın's tie with an outfit seen on a stylist's now-deleted story. Some fans insist they saw this coming, pointing to past interviews where both spoke softly about quiet moments being more precious than big noise, about how real love can be louder in silence. Others confess they're shocked but thrilled, with one theme repeating again and again. If this is true, it feels like the natural sequel to a story viewers have adored for years. And yet, there's an elephant in the room, no official statement. No publicists weighing in. No posts from either account confirming or denying. Just a digital world thrumming with theories and a handful of images that look, feel, and breathe like a wedding, but could they be something else? That sliver of mystery is what keeps the headlines spinning. Gossip columnists, ever eager for the next piece of the puzzle, hint that clearer images may land any hour now, that someone close to the venue might share a better angle, or that one of the guests might not resist the urge to post a story with a cryptic caption. For now, everyone is dancing between what's confirmed, what's whispered, and what we want to be true. We have to talk about how perfectly the aesthetic suits them. This isn't flash and fireworks. This is two people choosing softer colors and meaningful moments over fanfare. The decor seems minimalist but thoughtful: linen textures, pearly plates, greenery tucked along the tables instead of towering florals that scream for attention. If you look closely at one of the shots making the rounds, you can spot what looks like handwritten place cards, the ink a gentle sepia shade, because of course even the tiny details would be curated to feel personal. Another frame hints at vows exchanged at the precise moment the sun slipped low, a golden line on the horizon kissing the edges of their silhouettes. It's the kind of choice that speaks to a couple who cares about the feeling more than the noise. Spain wasn't picked at random, if the murmurs are to be believed. Some are pointing to old interviews where travel favorites came up and cities with winding streets were mentioned fondly. Others remember posts from years ago in sunlit courtyards, captions about timeless places and conversations that linger. Add to that the pressures of being who they are, two wildly recognizable faces whose every coffee run can become content, and the picture forms: escape the noise, keep the light, hold the day in your hands instead of renting it out to the world. Whether they chose Seville's orange trees, Granada's watchful hills, or a coastal town where the sea keeps secrets, the essence feels the same: history wrapping around love, a setting that made the private feel sacred. As more eyes join the hunt, the media's quiet outreach has allegedly begun. A Spanish venue rumored to host celebrity events has reportedly been fielding calls, while a florist with a signature style saw their page flooded with new followers overnight. No confirmations, no denials, just a lot of locked lips and those all-too-telling winks in the comments. One insider claims non-disclosure agreements were signed and that suppliers were instructed to treat the event as a private family affair. If that's true, then anyone hoping for an easy reveal might be waiting a while, because the very point of choosing a getaway wedding would have been to keep it gently sealed. There's also talk about timing. Both were said to have brief windows between projects, a gap small enough to blink and miss but big enough to slip in something unforgettable. Suddenly the rumors make sense: fly out quietly, keep it intimate, hold the ceremony right at the hour when the sky promises 1,000 tomorrows, and return home before anyone even notices the absence. And if you freeze one of the viral frames, you can spot a glimmer on her hand that could be a band catching the light. Nothing flashy, just a whisper of gold. On him, a tie pin that looks like a nod to classic elegance, as if everything down to the smallest accessory was meant to say this is us, not the roles we play. Naturally, everyone wants to know what comes next. Will there be an official announcement, a black and white photo released with a single caption, a heartfelt note thanking everyone for the love? Will there be a second celebration back home for the larger circle? Or will they let the moment remain exactly what it appears to be, a private promise kept where only the most important eyes could witness it? Some columnists swear that a magazine has already reached out with an offer for an exclusive, while others suspect that if the couple shares anything, it will be on their own terms, maybe a single frame that says everything without saying a word. For fans who have followed their journeys for years, this possibility carries a special kind of weight. The chemistry that lit up screens has always inspired stories beyond the scripts, and this, if true, feels like a chapter written without the help of a director's chair. Comment sections are full of memories, scenes replayed, interviews remembered, gentle jokes thrown back and forth that hinted at an understanding deeper than lines on a page. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, there's no denying that the images capture something tender and unguarded, the kind of peace that can't be faked, the kind we all recognize even from across a screen. Meanwhile, the theories multiply. A handful of sleuths think they've pinned the venue by counting the stones in an arch and matching them to a landmark's photo online. Others argue it's a private villa dressed up to echo a historic courtyard, because a public site would have been impossible to lock down. More adventurous minds suggest a tucked-away town where locals protect their guests and the staff know better than to let a lens near the gate. Every new idea grabs a few hearts and then dissolves into the next, because in the absence of official word, the story remains a living thing fueled by hope, curiosity, and a dash of romance. There's a reason this captured the zeitgeist so quickly. It isn't just that two stars might have married, it's that they might have done it with restraint, grace, and an insistence on privacy in a world that devours every crumb. It's the dream of a ceremony that belongs first and foremost to the people in it. And whether you believe the pictures show a wedding or simply a moment that looks like one, the message is strangely the same. Sometimes the brightest headlines are written at sunset, and sometimes the most electric chemistry speaks quietly. If you're waiting for certainty, you're not alone. We'll be watching the feeds, listening for the tiniest ping of confirmation, ready for the next photo that either seals the deal or rewrites the theory. Until then, the story belongs to that golden light, to the gentle smile she gives, to the way he watches her as if the rest of the world has blurred. Real or not, these images have turned into the most talked about moment of the season, and the conversation is not slowing down. We'll keep you updated the second anything concrete drops. That's where we'll leave it for now. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you're subscribed to Turkish series stars and share this video with anyone who's been sending you those photos all day. New clues can land at any moment, and when they do, you'll hear it here first. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.